Benny's heart thumped with excitement, a rapid drumbeat against his ribs. It was a special kind of excitement, the kind that made his tummy tickle and his toes wiggle inside his shoes. He could barely contain himself. Today was the day. Today was his very first plane ride. A real airplane adventure was finally here. He clutched Barnaby the bear, his faithful companion, holding him tight. Barnaby, with his button eyes and stitched smile, seemed just as eager for the journey as Benny was. He held Barnaby in one hand and his mom's hand firmly in the other, feeling the reassuring warmth of her palm. His eyes were wide, taking in the bustling airport. So many people, so much to see. It was a whirlwind of activity. Benny wore his favorite blue jumper, the one with a bright red rocket ship soaring across the front. He felt ready to be a real-life astronaut, exploring new worlds and discovering amazing things. He pointed at the big board, the one filled with letters and numbers that seemed to dance before his eyes. "Is our plane up there?" he whispered, his voice barely audible above the airport's hum. His mom nodded, her eyes crinkling at the corners as she smiled down at him. She pointed, showing him the word holiday next to a little airplane icon, a tiny symbol of the grand adventure that awaited them. Benny bounced with joy, his feet barely touching the ground. He was imagining the plane as a giant silver bird, a magnificent creature with powerful wings, waiting just for him to climb aboard and soar through the clouds. The airport's sounds, beeps, whirs, and the murmur of countless voices speaking different languages felt like a special kind of music, a symphony of travel and anticipation. He pressed his face to the window, his breath fogging up the cool glass. He was spotting the real airplane, the one that would carry him to new and exciting places. It was huge and shiny, with wings spread wide, ready to hug the sky and carry him away on an unforgettable journey. "Wow," Benny breathed, his eyes wide with wonder. He just knew this would be the best day ever, a day filled with adventure and excitement. He squeezed Barnaby, giving him a reassuring hug. He was ready for their adventure to begin, ready to explore the world and make memories that would last a lifetime. The journey was about to start, and Benny couldn't wait to feel the rumble of the engines and the thrill of taking to the skies. Walking down the jet bridge, the long tunnel leading to the plane, felt like stepping into another world. Each step echoed with the promise of adventure, a journey to a place unknown. It felt like entering a secret passage, a hidden gateway to a land far, far away. What wonders awaited on the other side? Benny's footsteps echoed as he held his mom's hand, his small fingers tightly clasped around hers, a mix of excitement and reassurance in his grip. His eyes were wide with wonder, reflecting the bright lights and the sheer scale of the giant silver bird before him. A smiling lady in blue, a friendly flight attendant, welcomed them aboard with a warm and inviting smile. "Welcome aboard," she chirped. Benny scrambled to the window seat, his heart pounding with anticipation. He wanted the best view of the world outside. He was pressing his nose to the glass to see the giant wing, marveling at its size and the intricate details of its design. He carefully set Barnaby, his trusty teddy bear, beside him, making sure both were ready for the grand adventure that awaited them. Benny explored. Tray table, light button, and the seat pocket with a shiny magazine filled with pictures of faraway places. He buckled his seatbelt, click, the sound echoing in the cabin. He was feeling like a real explorer, ready to discover new lands and experience incredible things. Out the window, tiny cars zipped below, looking like little ants scurrying along the ground. He waved enthusiastically, even though he knew no one could possibly see him from up there. Benny felt snug and important, nestled in his seat, a sense of anticipation bubbling inside him. He was ready for blastoff, ready to soar into the sky and leave the world behind. In his imagination, the plane was his spaceship, a vessel carrying him to distant galaxies. And in this grand adventure, he was the captain, the fearless leader of this incredible journey. The happy fizzing in his tummy grew, a mixture of excitement and a touch of nervousness. The adventure was really truly starting, and Benny couldn't wait to see what lay ahead. A gentle voice from the speakers reminded everyone to buckle up. Benny checked his belt, heart racing as the plane rumbled awake. The engines roared and the plane rolled onto the runway. Benny squeezed Barnaby's paw, excitement bubbling up. Suddenly, whoosh! The plane sped down the runway and lifted into the sky. Benny giggled, pressed back in his seat, watching the world shrink below. "We're flying, Barnaby! We're really flying!" he squealed. Houses and cars became tiny toys, roads like ribbons, fields like patchwork. Benny felt like a superhero, soaring above everything. The sky was endless and the adventure had truly begun. His eyes sparkled with pure joy. Benny spotted something. It was a flock of birds. They were flying right alongside the plane. "Look, Mom, birdies!" he exclaimed happily, waving at them excitedly through the window. One bird dipped its wing gracefully as if waving back in response. Benny giggled with delight, feeling like he'd made a secret friend in the sky above. He imagined having wings of his own, flying wherever he wanted to go. Barnaby was his trusty co-pilot, and together they were brave sky explorers. The birds soared away into the distance, but Benny's heart felt light and happy. He settled back comfortably, dreaming of adventures with his new feathered friends. The sky was full of magical surprises. Benny watched as the plane floated through a parade of clouds. Each cloud became a new shape: a sheep, a crocodile, even a giant ice cream cone. "Look, Mom, a sheep!" he laughed, tracing shapes on the window. He made up stories: dragons flying to candy floss castles, rabbits hopping on cloud puddles. Suddenly, the plane entered a thick cloud. Everything outside turned white. "We're inside the cloud," Benny whispered in awe. It felt like being wrapped in a soft, misty blanket. Then, sunlight burst through and the endless blue sky returned. Benny grinned, amazed by the magic outside his window. He'd been inside a cloud, a secret just for him. The sky's parade continued, each cloud a new adventure. Benny's imagination soared higher than ever. The friendly lady in blue, a beacon of warmth amidst the clouds, rolled a cart down the aisle, its wheels humming a gentle tune. It was laden with delightful possibilities, a mobile pantry of the skies. "Would you like a drink and a little snack?" she asked with a warm smile, her voice as comforting as a lullaby. Benny nodded eagerly, his eyes wide with anticipation, ready for the airborne feast. Receiving apple juice, a golden nectar in a tiny cup, and a tiny packet of biscuits, perfectly portioned for a small adventurer. Everything on the plane seemed perfectly Benny-sized, as if the whole journey was designed just for him. He nibbled the sweet biscuits, savoring each tiny bite, and sipped his juice, the sweet liquid dancing on his tongue, sharing a crumb with Barnaby, his faithful teddy bear companion. Snack time in the sky was the best ever, a delightful interlude amidst the clouds. The flight attendant returned, her eyes twinkling with kindness, asking, "Did you enjoy your sky snack?" Her voice filled with genuine interest. Benny grinned, biscuit crumbs on his teeth, a testament to the deliciousness he had just experienced. She gave him a sticker with an airplane on it, a badge of honor for a young traveler. Benny stuck it on his jumper, carefully smoothing it down, feeling like an official pilot, ready to take to the skies himself one day. He was a seasoned flyer now, proud and happy, a veteran of the clouds at a tender age. The sky held treats and surprises at every turn, a magical realm unfolding outside his window. Benny's adventure felt even more special, a memory he would cherish long after the plane landed. As the plane descended, Benny felt a little sad his first flight was ending. With a gentle bump, the giant silver bird landed. Benny patted his seatbelt and whispered, "Thank you for the ride." He hugged Barnaby, waving goodbye to the plane. That night, in a new bed, Benny replayed every moment. The whoosh, the clouds, the birds, the sky snack. He carefully placed his airplane sticker on Barnaby's ear, a medal for bravery. As he drifted to sleep, Benny dreamed of having wings, flying beside his bird friends. He soared through sheep clouds and dragon clouds, part of a sky family. Benny smiled in his sleep, knowing this was just the beginning. Many more adventures waited in the sky. The world above was his to explore.